What's good? What's good? Welcome to my channel again. Here I do reaction videos related with politics and other things that affect us daily in our daily lives. And if you like what I say here, subscribe and also give me a like if you like the content that you see here. So today I'm going to make a reaction video on San Francisco reparations for black people. So let's see what this is about. Let's go ahead and play the video.
In tonight's Breaking Buzz, San Francisco's bold new proposal for slave reparations.
Andy Reesmeyer joining us now live. He's got that in the Breaking Buzz.
Yes. Good afternoon and good evening. This is a story that has just gone wild online today. The city of San Francisco is considering an idea to pay $5 million each to black residents as reparations for slavery. It's one of 100 recommendations made by a city board which wants to address social inequities in the city. In addition to the one-time payments, they also recommended the elimination of all personal debt and tax burdens. There would be guaranteed income of at least $97,000 a year for 250 years and homes for as little as $1. Of the 50,000 black people who live in the city, it is not totally clear who would be.
All right, that's outrageous. What I just heard, that's crazy. So $5 million for black people in San Francisco, and they would be receiving $97,000 a year for 250 years. Wow, that's outrageous. This can't be real. Let me okay, no taxes, nothing. Okay, let me
eligible, but the group is focusing on descendants of both enslaved people and those incarcerated for drugs. But would this actually happen? Well, supervisors in the city said that they can't afford to do any more major reparation payments right now, but are interested in the idea. They could recommend any parts of it. As the AP reports, critics say the payouts don't make sense in a state and city that never enslaved black people. If it went through, one analyst said it would cost each non-black family in the city $600,000. This is separate, by the way, from the state's reparations task force created by Governor Gavin Newsom back in 2020.
And they just met really recently to the state reparation committee right now. While the idea of reparations is gaining momentum, it is not being taken up on the federal level.
Okay, whoa, that's a crazy story, and that was a shocker to me. Now I heard of reparations before. I know that natives, and I've been to different, I've been to different reservations. I know that they get, free school and other things too, so they get some benefits. But what San Francisco's proposing is preposterous. I mean, that's outrageous. $5 million per black person. First of all, I can just, okay, so let's just get this in perspective. California is literally a bankrupt state, right? So they're pretty much doing bad. And I have some friends that are in LA, and I know people who are in California and San Diego, and they're basically moving outside of California to different states. So that's in first most. So if they start giving that amount of money to black people, and remember, these are people who are even incarcerated for doing drugs. Now, I could understand, let me put this in perspective. I know that during the Clinton administration, there was the 3-strike rule. So I actually wouldn't mind helping inmates who were affected by the 3-strike rule, because that was insane what the Clinton administration was doing. So I have no problem if they want to give them $5 million, because they spend many years incarcerated for really stupid and petty stuff. So I don't have a problem with that. But when you are basically saying that this is for slaves, like, that's outrageous, bro. Like, it's not gonna, people are gonna be pissed. Black people will be happy, at least the ones in San Francisco. But I think people are going to get really, really pissed with this, and it's not going to help the black cause. And here's the deal. If you start giving $5 million to all black residents in California, and I heard that, that basically they would pay $1 per house, so they can get a dollar. They can purchase a house for a dollar. Inflation is going to go off the rooftop. I can tell you that right now. Inflation is going to go off the rooftop in San Francisco and in California, and that's going to affect the rest of the nation too. And what's going to happen is that there's going to be a huge devaluation of the dollar. So because everything is going to be more expensive right now, just like California, many other states are running in a huge deficit. Right, there's a big margin deficit, and right now there's many states who are literally, on the brink of bankruptcy. I know some places in California are already bankrupt. And what would happen is that if, let's say, San Francisco passed that law, that would put a huge strain on other progressive cities like New York City, and I would suppose places like Philadelphia and other liberal and progressive cities to also do the same thing. So they would be like, well, why, if California is doing it, why can't we do it, right? And it makes sense. I mean, if California is allowed to do that because it's a state issue, or because, and at the end of the day, it's not just going to be San Francisco. It's going to be other cities too. If this passes, then other people like in Chicago, black people in Chicago are going to want benefits too. So every single black person in the nation, which is 13% of the population, will be receiving at least $5 million, and that deficit is just, it's going to bankrupt the nation. It's going to bankrupt the nation. Outside of that, I think that people are going to be very angry because there's a lot of homeless people in the streets. There's people who are veterans. There's people who are, struggling with drug addiction and other things too. And just because you're black and, they're giving you all these benefits, what's going to happen is that everybody is going to be asking for benefits too. And the United States doesn't have the money to do that. It's just preposterous. I mean, every single resident will have to pay $600,000. You know what's going to happen if people, and I'm supposing that this is, I mean, it's just the idea of it is just ridiculous. But the fact that people will have to pay $600,000, people are going to turn really racist. This is a bad deal. Sometimes you can't accept money from the devil because it can burn you. And people paying that much, what will end up happening is that this will create a new wave of racism, and really bad too, really bad, because I don't know why is there this obsession with slavery. Blacks are not victims. They're not victims. Now I would, in the sense that we should do something similar to maybe the Native Americans. That wouldn't be an issue. If you want to go to school, you get free tuition, free college. I mean, I have no problem with certain things that we could do to help, uh, specifically black communities. You know, uh, give them money to build education and other things, right? That hasn't been done. I have no absolutely no problem with that. I think they need it, and to some extent, but giving $5 million to the population is shooting yourself in the foot, because that's never going to happen. And then, other ethnic groups are going to be like, "What about me? What about me? Well, I'm Mexican. Why shouldn't I get money?" Right? People are going to always find an excuse to benefit, right? And in the end of the day, the banks will benefit from this somewhere or another. I don't know how, but they will definitely benefit. But the United States does not have the budget to ever do that. And I think that, in my opinion, the Democrats are so far off from reality that they're basically catering in the most outrageous forms to the black community. Like, they've never really helped the black community. I mean, even if you go to the inner cities, if you go to Democratic inner cities, it's all a disaster. Detroit, Baltimore, they pretty much rank highest in crime. Albuquerque, New Mexico, even if you went to the Southwest, it's the same thing. Anything that Democrat is basically rushed to the ground. I don't think that's what. It's just the Democrats know. See, this is the thing. The Democrats know that the blacks are starting to lean to the right because they're seeing their situation in their community and how things are going, and the Democrats depopulated the black community. Okay, they already depopulated the black community through abortions. I mean, it's true. I mean, being honest, just being honest. They used to be 30%, and now they're 13%. So that wasn't an initiative by the conservatives. That was an initiative by the Democrats. So I just feel like that that I think the biggest problem with the black community is they're still attached to the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is run. I hate to say it, and I don't want to be bannering by who, you know who, you know, and the same people that Kanye West was speaking about, and I think that they're being taken over by those people, and they need to detach from that, and they need to go back to what they were before as far as a family and a community. And I think that they will do well for themselves. But I think that they are falling into, see, the problem that I see is that they're falling into a utopian idea that it's just never going to happen. And this is dangerous. In fact, I think this is a very dangerous thing because um, if they were to receive that, the rest of Americans from different ethnic groups will be really angry. It's almost like you are putting black people above everybody else when everybody should be in the same row. So that will be very dangerous. That's going to be very dangerous, and it's the Democrats who are putting the blacks through that position in a very dangerous position because I believe we'll go back to high levels of racism. But I'm talking not like today. I'm talking like back in the day, like lynchings and shit like that. That's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. And you can spin what I'm saying, whatever. No, I'm telling you the truth. Uh, People hate other people because sometimes, just like Cain and Abel, they see the other person doing better than they are, and they want to destroy him. And I don't think that's a good idea. I would not accept money from the devil. I would not do that. I think that the I think that what what the black community really needs is you the family structure to be together. It's not gonna never gonna be perfect, but at least the family structure is what they need. But um, $5 million is not gonna do anything. And to be honest with you, if they were given this $5 million, by the time they're giving all this money, inflation will be so high that 90, like $100,000 might buy you, a small car. You know, it will be like Zimbabwe. We just can't print that much money, and we're already, you know, giving all this money to Ukraine and all this, which I think it's erroneous. I don't agree with it. I think this should be given to black communities. I think this should be given to homeless. Uh, I think this should be given to the homeless as well. But I can tell you right now, this is a big mistake. This is a big mistake, and I hope it doesn't pass because the repercussions in the long term are going to go against the black community and not in a good way. So you got to really watch out what you do. You got to really watch out what you do. And I'm not saying this because, to be honest with you, I don't care if they receive $5 million or not. It's not my business. But what I do know is that there will be repercussions of that, and you got to look at the side effects of all these things. Um, and and who's going to pay for that? It's going to be the taxpayers. And see, it's not going to be the corporations. It's going to be the taxpayers because the corporations, at the end of the day, they don't want to see it's like they want to keep everything to themselves, just like their stock portfolios, like buy back stocks, all these things, that they're doing, the shady things, right? Instead of inverting that money from the Federal Reserve to the economy, all that they're doing is basically buying all their own stock. So they're not even helping the economy. So who's going to pay for that? We're going to pay for that. But I'm telling you, there's people who are going to get angry, say, I'm not paying for that shit, and they're starving, they're poor. They'll grab their guns and they'll grab their shit and they will go to civil war. The proposal is outrageous. It's just outrageous. And I hope it doesn't have, and I just hope it doesn't pass because it will be dangerous for black people. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. That's all. Anyway, subscribe, give us a like here, and if you like what we say, I try to be the realest I can. Um, give us a like as well. So enjoy. If you enjoy my commentary, we'll make the next video. So peace out, and to the next video.